So we've talked about Bobby Althoff on the show before, but if you were unaware, she is a satirical podcaster, the host of the Really Good podcast or the Really Great podcast. And she rose to fame because she, as a nobody, just started interviewing all of these massive celebrities and rappers.
Everybody said she's a plant.
She was an industry plant, there's no question about it. And then she got signed to a talent agency, and it seemed like everything was looking up for her. But then, because the fame was too alluring, she decided to initiate a divorce from her husband, with whom she has 2 daughters. We're very young. Yes.
Okay, I thought it was just 1.
And interestingly enough, she is only 26 years old, and at this point in her life has decided to start all over again and start acting like a college girl who is binge drinking every weekend and hanging out with a bunch of strange men. And most recently, TMZ posted a video of her at a Nashville bar, actually the Barstool Sports bar.
I didn't know there was an actual Barstool Sports
Drunk
bar.
off her ass. So drunk that she had to be carried out by NFL player Sean Murphy Bunting.
Well, look, what can happen to anybody?
Can it happen to anybody?
Let he who is drunk and...
I mean,
no, let's look at the video.
To be fair, I've been dragged out of places, but I've also...
Never carried, though.
I've been... But never, I don't have any kids, so...
Let's look at the video.
That you know of.
Yeah. That I know of. Not getting copyrighted on this shit.
It's weird, you never see her express emotion like this.
You know,
the alcohol is overriding the Prozac.
You know, what puzzles me is people are always asking, like, why is she famous? She's a hot white chick with nice cans. Like, I don't know, like, mystery solved, guys. You're welcome.
Okay, goddamn.
What is this? Why are they playing patty cake?
So here she is.
Literally being carried over the shoulder,
yep,
like in a fireman's carry, and brought down an alleyway. Like, what is this?
Whoa,
Where are they going?
I've seen this movie. It never ends well.
Ugh.
Okay. All right. Oh, wait. Some more?
She can't handle her liquor.
Yep. This is a country song waiting to happen.
And they're hopping in the oob. And we can only guess what happened after that.
And I'm guessing that your problem here is that this is a woman who has 2 young children and she should be home with her kids.
I mean, yeah, obviously. It's really sad because she clearly got a huge ego off of blowing up in the public eye and getting all of this attention, especially a bunch of male attention. And she decided that, you know, she needed to live her single life that she never got a chance to live.
I love
and in a sense, she's abandoned her children for this.
Hard Factor News responded with this.
I tweeted, this is why we need a term like man-child for women. And then everyone was like, it's just woman. It's just, or they said it was hoe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, you know, the essential story is picking fame and clout over something that will last, which is your family and your marriage. And evidently she didn't even have a bad relationship with her husband, because after the divorce, she made a statement about it saying, you know, I couldn't be happier than to co-parent with someone like this. We still have so much respect for each other, blah, blah, blah. But clearly you didn't respect him all that much if you wanted to pursue binge drinking and podcasting over being married.
Is this the female version of like the husband who, when he's famous, breaks up with his first wife and then marries the hot younger wife? Except for she's not breaking up with her husband for another guy. She's breaking up with him for internet fame.
Usually the archetype is the other way around, though.
That's what I'm saying. Is this the female version of that?
Yeah, but usually the archetype is the woman, right? Because women initiate most of the divorces.
No, but he's talking about a archetype, not like it's statistically
I'm not saying
more
it's
likely.
like that's most. I'm saying like a certain type of rich dude doesn't even marry women. He leases them.
Which is
every
why,
5
like,
years.
people look at someone like Harrison Butker, for instance, who is with his middle school sweetheart.
Yeah.
And we love to see stories like that because he got famous and rich and didn't let it get to his head.
Exactly.
Stays humble and stays loyal to his family and his children. But that's not what we see here.
Yeah.
And I actually got pushback for saying that this was inappropriate behavior for a mother. And someone said, imagine being in your 20s and strangers on the internet acting like you're supposed to be a housewife because you made the dumb decision of getting married way too young. People that are mad people are mad that Bobby Althoff is acting her age. And by the way, she is 26. Another person said, everyone making fun of Bobby Althoff for getting blackout and getting carried out of a bar has never been 26, apparently.
I mean, the point isn't 26. The point is 26 with kids.
I mean, regardless of whether you have kids, I don't think that you should be getting blackout drunk at bars and getting carried out by random strangers.
I got plenty blackout at 26, but I didn't have kids to go home to.
Also, from the perspective of any woman who, you know, has a sense of maintaining her personal safety, that is just a bad decision all around. But it's especially undignified that she is choosing this lifestyle over being with her children. Because this is what she's doing all the time. I'm not really seeing her doing anything normal with her children. I guess that's just not being publicized, or that's not. I mean, it's people want to see a train wreck.
That, you know, if like she could have a perfectly good relationship with her kids that's not being shown because she doesn't want to put her kids online.
Although I highly doubt that, because she sacrificed attending her child's birthday party to podcast with Drake in his hotel bedroom. So forgive me if I'm making uncharitable assumptions, but to me, it seems like she is not prioritizing her children. She is prioritizing gallivanting around with rappers and football players and getting drunk.
Yeah.
And it's undignified regardless of how old you are. It has nothing to do with her being in her 20s. And just because you're in your 20s doesn't mean that you get to waste all of your time without people criticizing you for it.
Yeah, and the comments seem to fall in line with what you're saying, right? So don't take this as like a left or right thing, because like, that's not to assume that the people who are responding to this post, this is from some random account, right? This is not some right-wing Twitter account, at least not that I know of, that's talking about this. These are just normal people who say, if you've got kids at home, it might not be the best thing in the world for you to be out getting blackout drunk and, you know, caught lacking by TMZ cameras.
She's just speed running her downfall at this point, at such a young age too. I mean, did the fame? I mean, is this a result of the fame? Did getting famous that quickly do this to her? I mean, it's a very intoxicating thing for a lot of people. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. It's just if you don't have a deeper foundation of values, but the thing is where it's going to head. And that's the problem, right? It would have to go even deeper than just having a family, right? Because she had the family, but the values would have to run even deeper than just that, because she had the family and then decided that she wanted to do this instead. Yeah, and it's ironic because when we were originally talking about Bobby Althoff, you know, becoming famous, I said that it's cool that she's married and has kids and is 26. Yes. Yep. Because you really don't even see that very often from people in the public eye. But she decided to follow suit with the rest of the people in this industry.
Also, 20s, I mean, at least for me personally, 21 and 26 could not be any more like diametrically different.
Definitely.
You know, there's this like Blink 182 song, is Nobody Likes You When You're 23. And it's a lyric, it's not the song. But the spirit of that lyric is that there comes an age, at least for men, when you're like a rambunctious young man, it stops being cute. You know, and nobody likes you because it's like, okay, now it's time to get serious and assume your role in the universe to be a provider to some degree. Yeah, I didn't know that. To
self-actualize in some sense.
In some sense, correct. And so that was 23. And this is 26, and so it's like 5 years, and so like a bunch of decisions, and I think it's associated with 23 because that's when you're like likely to graduate and start working and all this. This is like 5 years or like 3 years after that, and we're regressing into childish behaviors.
There's a comedian, like an internet comedian named Joseph Buckley, who used to do musical autopsies, and he'd make fun of songs, and he was making fun of the song 22 by Taylor Swift, where he's talking about what you actually do at 22. He's like, pay bills, go to work, do all of these things. Look, I was not a mature person at 26, at least not in the same sense. I was still traveling a lot for skating, doing a lot. I guess that's technically kind of work at the time and stuff like that, right? But it was a lot of, you know, partying at night and going out with friends and stuff like that. But that was part of the culture that I was in. But I was not ready to settle down or anything like that. But for guys, it's different than girls age-wise, though I'd say these days it seems like more and more people are putting off maturing in general, but she already chose the path of family and stuff like that. So it's not really even a sane comparison. If this was just a regular 26-year-old woman, I wouldn't say that it was required for her to settle down. I would be a little bit critical about, like, you know, maybe going out and making some unsafe decisions that might hurt you, you know, partying with strangers and stuff like that. But I'm not going to pearl clutch about a woman going out and getting blackout drunk at a nightclub. But, you know, if you've got kids at home, you're at least going to have to accept that there are going to be people that are going to have critiques of what you're doing.
And it's not just, you know, about safety. It's also about having a sense of honor and, you know, the fact that we live in a society without any social shaming. And
we need a "we live in a society" button.
If you have children, you have a legacy, and what you do reflects on the people that are closest to you. It's very shameful to behave this way even as a single woman, but to behave this way while you have a family at home where you have your crying husband taking care of your children for you is especially dishonorable.
I think there might be a bit of a social gap here. Like, if you were to ask the average normie person, I don't think they would see it that way.
Well, I also just don't understand why she couldn't have had both. Like, she was having both for a long time. Like, you can be married and you can have kids and you can, you know, pursue interviewing rappers if that's what you really want to do. And that's what was working for her for a time. But I think it's really the male attention that she got that led her astray to this point. Like, that was the thing that lured her out of that long-term relationship.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.